What's up, everybody? My name is Rob. Welcome back to Rule of Two Review, where today we're going to celebrate some Resident Evil records. So today is a pretty momentous day. I couldn't be happier or more thrilled with this piece of news that just came out via a GameSpot article that I found a couple of hours ago. It turns out that the recently re-release of the Resident Evil remake, which came out in 2002 for the Nintendo GameCube, just on January 20th for both the PlayStation and both Xbox systems as well as the PC, has broken records and become Capcom's best-selling digital game of all time, amongst a few other pretty cool milestones. Here is the direct quote from the GameSpot article where I found this piece of information. Resident Evil HD Remaster, which launched January 20th across console and PC, has broken sales records for Capcom. The game is now the fastest-selling digital title in the company's history across North America and Europe, the publisher announced on Monday. The game also broke PlayStation Network records, where it became the biggest-selling day one digital title. So these two pieces of news fill me with a lot of joy and also hope. Hope for the gamer and hope for the future of the industry and game development. Now, I have been talking about Resident Evil quite a bit lately. Of course, a lot of you know I put up a 4-part Resident Evil HD Let's Play of my playthrough of the remaster, which I've been playing through on the PlayStation 4 and still playing nonstop. It is like the only game with a smidgen of Metroid Prime because of the recent re-release of the trilogy, which I actually own in physical copy form. With the exception of that, all I've been doing is playing Resident Evil HD the remaster. I've had my girlfriend playing it with me as well because she's never really experienced it and she is loving it. She is not really too good with the tank controls, but she's kind of figuring it out. What's really cool is the remaster does allow you to use a kind of more modern control setup, and she's actually pretty good with that. So point being is, I've been playing this game like crazy. I've been talking about Resident Evil nonstop lately, and what's amazing is this game, playing through it again now, I guess, 13 years after the re-release for the GameCube, and which would make it, if I can do my mental math, 19 years after the original game, or actually, 19 years after the original release on the original PlayStation. This game encompasses everything that made gaming great and everything that gaming today isn't able to still achieve. And playing through it has been just a wonderful reminder of that. It also is reminding me of how awesome Capcom has been in the past. And I am probably one of the few people that says this, but I'm willing to bet that they still have a lot of this magic and creative brilliance in them. And I want to believe that Resident Evil specifically is something that they could fix, quote unquote. I think that they could come back to this. So I definitely want to say congratulations to Capcom and congratulations to just the title itself, the remake of Resident Evil, which is probably one of my 10 favorite games of all time, and also my second favorite Resident Evil behind 4. It's so great to see that this game can come out, like I said, 13 years after its original release, and in only a couple of weeks' time break so many records. I mean, the digital sales market is only a couple of years old, but I still think it holds a lot of weight and says a lot that a game like this can break records and become Capcom's best-selling digital title. And as far as the PlayStation Network goes, since the inception of the PlayStation Network on the PlayStation 3 in 2006, 9 years ago, that is the best-selling day one digital title in 9 years, in the 9 years of the PSN history. That is freaking awesome. I am so happy for the title, happy for Capcom, like I said, and really proud of my fellow gamer because I have less and less faith in gamers nowadays as this generation progresses. Even though I'm enjoying it, I'm seeing a lot of really unfortunate trends. We all talk about it and lament these problems all the time. And seeing this kind of game with so many old-fashioned fundamentals that still holds up and still proves itself to be better than 98% of other games coming out today, people still love it and people are supporting it. And I'm hoping that this also means a lot of new gamers who might never have experienced this game or any of these old school kind of Resident Evil games have decided to go and pick it up because of its legacy and are hopefully enjoying it. This is exactly what we need to see. This is people, gamers, and developers in the industry all doing the right thing. I'm so happy about this. I'm elated. I don't even know what else to say. I was really excited to share this quick piece of news with you because I think that it is hopefully going to show the right trends. The other thing that we can hope, and I say this, again, I repeat facts on a lot of my videos, but I always have to do that for any newcomers. I am somebody who loves Resident Evil since day one. I like Resident Evil 5, and I like Resident Evil 6. I recognize they're not the best games, and I also recognize that they represent a downward trend for the series, but in and of themselves, they're okay games. I can always admit that. However, they do represent that downward trend. I do want that trend to stop. Playing this game again and being reminded how much it is still a perfect game. It is perfect. If I was going to review this game today, it is a perfect 10. That is the score I would give this game. It is perfect. And so seeing this game come out, realizing how good it still is, how much it still holds up, and seeing it still be so popular and sell so well, I'm hoping that this is going to send the message to Capcom specifically and say, we all know that you're working on Resident Evil 7 and or a reboot, whatever the next official mainline Resident Evil title actually ends up coming out, and I am not talking about Revelations 2. I have no idea how that frickin' thing is going to turn out. I'm really nervous about that mess. It could be okay, but I have my doubts. Now, we do know they're working on Resident Evil 7, like I said, or potentially a reboot. A lot of people discuss that theory as well. Capcom, pay attention to the numbers, pay attention to the voice of the people and your fans. You have it in you to make another Resident Evil as great as this game is and was. You can do this. Resident Evil doesn't have to die. It doesn't have to keep going downward. We're going to let the Revelations 2 phenomenon just be the weird, kooky, flippin' mess it's probably going to end up being, and that's fine. Now, again, I'm going to play it. I'm excited. I'm going to wait and buy the physical copy of Revelations 2 when that comes out. I think in the end of March is when it's supposed to release. So I'm going to get and support it, and hopefully I'm proven wrong. Maybe it's going to be a good game. But even if it's a good game, I already know it's not what I think Resident Evil should be. Again, you might have heard me talk about this many times because I've talked about Resident Evil a lot on the channel, and especially the last few weeks. The problem I see with Revelations 2 is that oh my god, there's so many things. It's episodic, so that's weird. This isn't The Walking Dead. Don't make it episodic. It's also pairing you with two freaking people, and that's been a complaint of mine for a while. I don't want to play as two people ever again in a Resident Evil game. Capcom, one person, you're scared as shit alone the entire game from opening credits to ending credits. That is Resident Evil. That is what the foundation of the game was built on. That is what it should be going forward. We're going to let you slide one last time with Revelations 2. Good game or not, this is the last time. Don't do this shit anymore. Stop taking us to a bunch of places. I do think it's possible with Revelations 2 that we will hopefully get one location. Another complaint I've had with the recent games as well is we're moving around too much. Just put us in one fucking place and let us just be there as one person. And I do think it seems like Resident Evil Revelations 2 might only be going to one location, this abandoned warehouse kind of thing. Great. If that's the case, big thumbs up. Continue that going on to Resident Evil 7. But the other problems, episodic, microtransactions for the multiplayer shit, just having multiplayer in general, it's a mode we don't need or really want in Resident Evil, so stop that immediately. And just let us also play alone. We don't want to play co-op with an AI partner or a friend. Not in Resident Evil. It works for so many games and genres. It does not work for Resident Evil. Stop it. Damn it. No. Bad Capcom. Stop doing these things. We don't want it. So, anyway, I think I've got my couple of points out. This, I got a little bit mad at the end there, but really this was supposed to be a happy celebratory video, so I want to wrap up on that. Again, so proud of my fellow gamers. Good for you guys. Good for the industry. This is what we need to see. Resident Evil, the remake, is such an amazing masterclass of game design and perfection. I just can't even describe it any more than I already have in this video. So I'm proud of you, Capcom, for even bringing this game back out. It's not a new game, but it's still one of the best games you've ever made, and I'm really glad that you, A, brought it back out, and B, it's being received so well. Wonderful news. Congrats to you guys. Congrats to Resident Evil. And don't fuck up Resident Evil 7, damn it. Okay, and that's it for my celebratory news, like I said, about the Resident Evil Remake, HD, the Remaster, redo, part 2, all whatever you want to call it. I'm just glad the game came back out. So those are my thoughts. Have you guys had a chance to play it? What do you think? Did you play it back in the day? Have you been playing through it recently and this is your first experience, the HD re-release on the newer consoles or PC? Definitely talk about your experience with Resident Evil, the series, and this game specifically. Thanks for tuning in. Of course, if you just stumbled across this video, please feel free to subscribe to Rule of 2 Review if you like what I'm doing. And, of course, like and share the video. Follow the links below to the Facebook page and the Twitter, both of which I do run. And thanks for tuning in. I will catch you guys on another video for Rule of 2 Review.